A dog and a flea depend on each other for survival. The dog is warming up by the fire. The flea stays on the big dog, basking in the warmth of the fire. The dog opens a can of red beans. Happily, it calls the flea to have dinner. Upon hearing about dinner, the flea quickly ties its napkin. It comes out with its utensils. The flea comes to the dining table, and the dog has prepared a big red bean for the flea. The flea finally manages to carry the red bean to the dining table. Then it happily cuts open the red bean with a knife. It starts eating heartily. The red bean is delicious. The flea praises the meal after finishing. Soon, the dog and the flea finish the red beans. Afterwards, they lie down leisurely. When it's time to sleep, the dog even says goodnight to the flea. The flea also happily kisses the dog. Then it happily jumps back into its nest. The next day, upon hearing the rooster crow, the flea crawls out of the matchbox. It stretches, then it jumps off the bed. It opens the curtains. At this moment, the flea sees Spike. It turns out that on Spike's body lies a beautiful female flea. The beautiful female flea also sees the flea and warmly greets him. The flea gets excited when it sees this. It immediately jumps onto Spike's body. Then it happily plays with the female flea on Spike's body. But Spike discovers them. Spike is very angry. He scratches with his foot. This also tires Spike out. Just when Spike thinks he has dealt with the flea starts chasing on Spike's body again. Spike angrily chases the flea with his teeth. He drives the flea off his body, but the flea runs back to Spike's tail. As a result, Spike bites himself. But finally, he catches the flea. Spike grabs the flea and throws it on the ground. Then he steps on it hard. Then he puts his teeth back in his mouth. But the flea does not give up. The flea returns home. The dog is excited to see the flea. It kisses the flea, warmly welcomes the flea home. It asks the flea to come up quickly, but the flea shakes its head. Then, the flea pulls the female flea over, introduces his wife to the dog. The dog seems a bit envious when it sees this. Then, the female flea and the flea, with a group of little fleas, return to the dog's body.